Check. Yo, what's up, guys? Good morning. Let me know if you can hear me. Some of you guys had issues with the sound, but as far as I can tell, everything seems all right. But let me know. What's up, guys? Good morning. It is Tuesday, I believe. Is it a Tuesday? Tuesday, 21st of December. Sound on. You guys working? Yeah, cool. All right, awesome. Yeah, Tuesday, 21st of December, we are getting pretty damn close to Christmas and New Year's and this sort of a break that we're going to be taking from the real world. If you like the content, smash the like button. Thank you, Threefold Comics. Wayne, good morning. Can hear okay. Thanks, man. Good. Rodney says, can hear you, but no intro music. That's weird. I wonder why the intro music wasn't working. I mean, it was showing that it's working on my OBS. This is what I look at, guys. So I look at, all right, this is a bit of an Inception sort of screen, but you can see this audio. When I say something, the mic pops up. When I click this, the desktop audio, when we go back to this screen, you see that? That shows that it's doing something. Oh, wait, we can't see. Anyway. Cool, we're here, and let's sort of get this started. I am going to do sort of a 30-minute stream, so not too long, maybe 25 minutes. We're having a bit of a work party today because it's almost Christmas, and we thought it'd be a great idea just to have some fun. We're gonna go bowling. We're gonna play some Nintendo Switch. We got Super Smash Brothers. We have Mario Kart. We're gonna go play some games, get some food, and just chill out and really talk about this whole year. It's been 8 months of madness in the Mediky team internally. We've got about, I think, 14 people full-time for the Mediky that now. Gone from, basically myself to 14 people that are part of this journey. So it's been very hectic in doing all this stuff. So we're going to be taking a break today. So the stream will go on for 25 minutes. I thought it'd be a great idea just to chat to you guys about stuff. YD says nice haircut, thank you. The flashback, hi Maddie, hit the like button. Yes. No Omicron. No, it's not gone that crazy in Australia yet. We're still sort of hovering around the same numbers as we were the last 2 or 3 months, or last 1 or 2 months. So it hasn't been that crazy. It's not that insane in Australia, Melbourne. Awesome. Hope all of you. Oh, awesome. I hope you all have a great day. I can't believe how much heat you got on the gaming post. Tell me about it. Holy shit. My clone has the same clothing as that one. I hope that helped the sale price as well as the helmet, maybe. Really happy for Mediky's success. Maybe one day I'll be able to partner with Mediky, says Darshan. Of course. The idea of the Mediky is really to partner up with everyone. Would love to hear your plans to develop DCL land. Awesome. All right, guys. These are some really fun conversations. Let's sort of talk through them a little bit. So I put out this post here, I think about 2 days ago, so December 19th, I put out this, right? So when you spend $200 in traditional gaming, you lose $200. When you spend $200 in an NFT game, you get an NFT, which you can probably sell for $200 or more if the player base utility increases. Why would anyone oppose this, right? And this thing got it went sort of crazy. And yeah, I think it sort of went viral with the gaming sort of community that are very anti-traditional gaming, traditional art. Traditional creatives are very anti-NFT because we aren't scam artists or money launderers. I spent $200 in dental dams, and now your mom doesn't need a pelvic exam for the next decade. Okay. Yeah, they're just talking about how this is a shitty idea because, well, as we all know, NFTs are a scam and they're all about money laundering, right? Wrong. So yeah, that kind of went viral all for the sort of wrong reasons, but it is interesting. And I think a lot of these concerns, when you deeply think about it, I kind of understand some of these things because if you look at the NFT gaming space right now, there is very little to convince anyone that this is the future. This is it's very basic games, Axie Infinity, all credit to them, but it's a very visually basic game, right? There's nothing really much to it to warrant $1 million purchases of pets. It doesn't look like there's much to it, at least for traditional gamers. And then you have these high price sort of entry prices where people are spending, thousands, if not millions of dollars on NFTs, where you should be able to get these for free in traditional games. It's kind of like, okay, well, what is this value proposition of the NFTs? It really just looks like a high cost barrier to entry. And in a lot of ways, that's true, right? Gating experiences where you have to buy the NFT to participate suddenly or eventually will make these experiences very gated if it's a scarcity plan. So for example, if you have 150,000 land plots in Decentraland, for example, currently the land is $15,000 to be able to build something in Decentraland and have it live there forever. And they do price out creatives and artists and developers who would otherwise be very valuable to the platform, who just can't participate because it's $15,000 per land. So there's these sort of issues with the NFT space. The benefits, or what I was talking about, and I think we can all sort of agree with and chat about and look at here, is that, okay, let's take out the scarcity element of having or needing an NFT to participate. Let's take Ubisoft, for example, where what they've done is, if you guys haven't sort of seen the Ubisoft thing, is check it out. So, geez, Ubisoft NFT flop, they call it. Look at this. It's just so fun to shit on NFT projects, right? Ubisoft boss tells employees that NFTs are just the beginning. Ubisoft NFT announces video is overwhelmingly disliked. So apart from, this is like, I guess, what people like to talk about. They like to talk about how NFTs are getting crushed. But I really just want to see what the hell is going on here. Okay, so here is the actual project plan, right? And if you look at what they're doing is, well, one, they're giving these aesthetic NFTs out for free for anyone that plays their game and hits some certain parameters. It's on the Tezos blockchain, so gas fees are absolute minimal. I mean, it's probably the same as you sending a tweet on Twitter. And I think a lot of people that are very anti-NFTs, they just can't fathom the fact that the environmental impact stuff does not apply for certain blockchains. They think that's sort of like a one-layer thing, right? And it is true for Ethereum. It's quite heavy intensive on the environment. But hey, you know what? Tesla as well is not completely green. Like Tesla as well are still sort of transitioning to completely green, but they still have an environmental impact. So if you look at the Ubisoft thing, you get these for free. They're aesthetic pieces. They allow players to go get them and you wear them. And hey, it's cool to have one because suddenly you can not only sell it within the Ubisoft marketplace, but on Rarible and other marketplaces. So I think like this whole plan and launch sort of thing is valuable. It just hasn't been sort of accepted. And I think like when I think about NFTs in games, I don't think about NFTs dominating the gaming experience. I think about just how maybe I played RuneScape. I played RuneScape back in the day, right? And I used to have party hats. And people used to have party hats. People used to trade GP and gold. People used to trade items that were scarce. And they did have a scarcity element to it. And yes, you had to be rich within the game to be able to buy one. People used to still trade those on eBay and different marketplaces. People used to still sell party hats for real money. Even today, people sell party hats. How much is a green party hat? RuneScape. I don't even know. eBay. Let's see how much this is, right? Oh, that's a blue. That's actually a real party hat. But I think the last time I calculated it, it was like $4,000 to be able to get a party hat. Because you have to buy the GP, the gold points, the gold to be able to buy the party hat. But NFTs make a lot of the activity which was previously sort of not legal in games, or games would sort of really try to not allow this, where people would trade items for real money, whether it be their name and their accounts and their character, whether it be the clothes that they have, whether it be the party hats that they have. Traditionally, you weren't really able to trade that for real money, right? But with NFTs, you can in the marketplace that not just exists within RuneScape, but maybe outside on an open marketplace. So I would have thought something like this would be pretty cool, right? I think it's very difficult to deny this not being the future. I think eventually one massive game publisher is going to get it extremely right, and every game is going to be like, holy shit, this is epic. And it's gonna change it, right? So the game publishers, they know this. They know that someone's going to get this right, and they want to get it right first. And that's why it's not about them having bad PR. They still have to enter at some point. It's whether, because they know that the whole business model of gaming is being sort of disrupted, right? Just how back in the day you used to, when apps and games first started, or when games first started on mobile phones, they were quite basic, and then they became apps where you had to pay money to download them. Then they sort of went into this model where you had to buy the app, and then use the app, and then it became freemium with it. You download the app for free, then there's in-game upgrades, and then that sort of evolved over the last decade. So this new technology, it kind of requires you to think about how to add it to your gaming, your game model, or your model as a business, because the reality is the future will incorporate parts of blockchain, right? So anyway, it was just really interesting to read this stuff. What I thought I'd do is kind of write a thread about it, and just talk about sort of each of these points. You know, like spending $200 in traditional gaming usually means pouring it into loot boxes or something similarly predatory and awful, making that system the entire point of the game, and building a speculative economy around it therefore sucks more. I think, again, like, this guy is assuming that spending money is equivalent to loot boxes. Well, maybe you could just spend $50 or $10. Well, I think one of the biggest reasons as well is that because NFTs were born in the crypto native space, it started off, even though we're early and it's just started off, there's still millions of dollars being spent on individual NFTs. So suddenly it looks like it's already a crazy amount. I think if we started with NFTs and it didn't boom this year, it boomed maybe 3 years ago when Ethereum was much lower, and it wasn't millions of dollars to participate in some of these really big NFTs. Maybe it was, you know, $5,000 to get like the best NFT, and maybe the accessible ones were somewhere between $1 to $50. So suddenly everyone could participate, right? I think what's happening is people just can't be part of this because it's just too expensive. And that the sort of high values being thrown around are really unachievable. So I think, like, when we sort of go mainstream, it'll be something like maybe Warcraft or some really big game will implement or release NFTs, and there'll be transactions that will be happening between $1 to $30 that are frictionless and gasless, where it's not that expensive to participate, and suddenly people are trading for real money. I think that's what will happen, right? The games are shit so far. Spot on, they are. That they are, because the game devs have mostly been indie fun experiments. Now there's some serious players entering. When fat NFT Chagex, did you know that some services offer the same concept but isn't an NFT? You can earn items, trade them, sell them, just like NFTs. Steam does it. Well, that's the issue, right? Steam does it, yes, but it's central to Steam. Steam doesn't allow you to pull that out of Steam and sell it on a different marketplace. In both cases, the server falls, your item is lost. You'd have a ticket proving you bought a worthless item on your hard drive, I guess. But yeah, I think NFTs are one of those things that you really just have to experience, own, sell at some point to really find the value proposition. Ernesto has a really good point here. He says, once one game makes it big, everyone will get it. Yep, absolutely on point. I think when one traditional game with great aesthetics starts to make it big, then everyone's just going to jump on the bandwagon. I think there's two different kind of things going on here. There's traditional games that have the traditional models and the traditional user bases that are in the millions, that play games like Final Fantasy and Ubisoft, you know, whatever their games are, Assassin's Creed, etc. There's these game publishers that want to transition to NFTs, or you have the sort of homegrown NFT projects that want to build in the crypto space that will onboard an NFT native crowd, which are small in number. Like, there's only most of these games have less than 100,000 user base, right? Which relatively is quite small, but everyone loves and accepts NFTs. So either it will grow, like a large game will grow from an NFT crypto native crowd and become a beast like how Axie became, or game publishers need to transition their sort of user base over. Like, these are the two sort of pressures that are colliding right now, right? All right, guys. Let's what games are worth paying attention to right now? I don't know actually. I haven't been following much NFT games, but there's a ton that are coming out, which I only really start paying attention to once the user base starts to get a decent amount. Once you really start to get about 5 to 10,000 players a day. I think right now a lot of games are coming out where they're cool concepts, but once there's actual when there's player base growth, then I think it's a good idea to get involved. I kind of stay out of pre-sales for games because for me the thought is that the pre-sales are the most riskiest time to invest. Maybe 1 or 2 years down the track when they've proven themselves to have a player base of 10,000 people a day, and you see them growing to 20,000 players a day and then 30,000 players a day, then you can get involved. And yes, they'll be more expensive than they were at pre-sale, but you would have invested in, say, 50 game pre-sales and maybe 1 or 2 of them would be doing right as opposed to the rest not doing all right, right? So, and if that 100,000 user base, or if that 10 to 30,000 users per day grows to 1 million users per day or 10 million users per day, if you can see that trajectory and it's clear, it's still a great investment at 30,000 users per day. So that's how I kind of invest. I'm sort of waiting. That's how I invested in Axie Infinity. I actually did not get involved for 2 years with Axie until their player base went from 5,000 to about 20 to 30,000 players per day, and I could see that trajectory and I could see that curve going like this, and I was like, holy shit, Axie Infinity is going to go nuts. So that's when I bought about 12 Mystic Axies for I think 2.5 Ethereum each, and then they became 30 Ethereum each eventually. So I'm just watching to see which sort of games are going to come out. Big Time Studio looks promising. Star Atlas. There's a bunch of others that Cypher. There's a few others that seem like they have a lot of development power, but we're still waiting on a game to sort of play right. No giveaway today. Michael, did you want to set one up? Maybe we'll give away a Astro Friend again. Yeah, it's a real quick one. Let's make a real quick one. Yeah. Yeah, and there's Treeverse as well. So George Fernandez. There's Treeverse. There's the World Wide Web project, which is not the internet, right? It's a 3D world project. So there are games coming out that I think will be sort of interesting. Have you heard of DeFi Kingdoms? No, I haven't. DeFi Kingdoms has 11K unique players. Nice to know. That's good to know. Sidus, Illuvium. So here we go. So Nish says Sidus, Illuvium, Big Time, Star Atlas, all going for AAA status. Yes, you are right. There's also there was a Blanco's Block Party. There's Blanco's Block Party, right? Loved the World Wide Web party the other day. NFT Addiction says Coin Games Dev Squad and My Pet Hooligan is very interesting. Gala Games, right? I haven't really looked that much into Gala Games, although I feel like I should at this point. Gala Games is going kind of nuts. Hey, Maddie, nothing to do with gaming, but have you heard about the Playboy party in DCL tonight? I have not. Thanks, Michael. We'll pin that. I have not heard of that. Let's quickly check on what events are going on in Decentraland. Let's see. Xmas Quests. Looks like they're doing a Christmas Quest session. I used to be on top of every single NFT project. Event in Decentraland, but I have not been able to keep up with what's going on. So this seems to be some sort of a Playboy event in Decentraland. Interesting. There's actually a few different points I wanted to go through, guys. So there's this one, right, about traditional gaming. We covered that. This purchase here, this CloneX, was via my fund. I haven't gone public with this news yet. I've only just said news on this soon. But a fund of mine which gets investors to invest in my fund, and then I use that fund to acquire NFTs or invest in equity or tokens or cryptocurrencies in the blockchain gaming or the NFT space as a whole. We have acquired this thing. So this is going to be representing us. This is a Purple Dragon CloneX. There's only 2 of these that are purple dragons, right? So what I've learned is that if you go to CloneX, so this is our wallet. You can see we've got this purple dragon. There is only 2 of these guys, right? I own one, and Flamingo DAO own the other one. So I think CloneX is going to be a massive project. I feel very confident saying that. And this thing, I feel like the scarce CloneX avatars are just going to be super, super iconic. So people have different tastes. You got Whale Shark going crazy about the Murakami traits. Some people are rocking the dragon. Some people are going nuts about like, other masks and other mask traits and the scarcities and stuff. But yes, we got this, and we got a bunch of different sort of floor-ish CloneXs. What I also know is that CloneX are doing sort of like an artifact token drop as well, and I'm pretty confident that they'll say that if you own a CloneX or if you own certain one of the NFTs in the past, you will be able to claim some of the artifact tokens. So I think like investment wise, these seem logical because I would assume the artifact token would be pretty good. They're pretty good in terms of brand partnerships. They're acquired by Nike. They're going to be pretty big in terms of the metaverse. So I think they're going to do really well on that front. So this is like sort of an investment via the fund. This is our NFT play. So you'll see me launch that. And if you guys have any cool ideas that you're working on, any cool projects that you're raising money for, then feel free to reach out because we are going to start to invest quite heavily. Awesome. White mode on OpenSea is kind of sus, Maddie. Lol, I know. Well, this is the desktop right now. Did you get licenses to invest for your fund, Maddie? Yes, I did. I am trying to do the same thing, but licensing is stopping me, says Nebula Trading. Whereabouts are you doing that? So I have the financial license that is required in Australia to be able to run a fund. I wasn't able to get it. It takes 12 months to actually get one. I had to partner with a company or an investment firm, a fund that invests in traditional companies, and we partnered up to set up a crypto investment fund or an NFT sort of investment fund. They've got the financial license, so I didn't have to get it. I could just leverage what they got, right? Yeah. Another thing happened the other day, guys. So this thing happened this morning, I think 5:38 a.m., which is 4 hours ago. So, oh no, 28 hours ago, where Al.eth, he got his NFTs hacked, right? How I got compromised, post-mortem of a dark stormy night. So Al, who I've known for a while, we haven't been in touch that much, but I know that in the Axie community, he's been around for a very long time. Everyone knows who this is, right? I think for 2 to 3 years, maybe even 4 years, he's been around the NFT space. Maybe even longer than me, who knows? But a very familiar name. And unfortunately, he got hacked. So he got hacked, and he's a developer as well. 1 second, guys. Few seconds to go, my bad. But there is a giveaway. If you guys got to it real quick, there's a few seconds to go. It's a pinned chat at the top. Where are we? But looks like it's really gonna spit out a winner real quick. We do a giveaway every single day, guys. So if you miss this one, don't worry. This is not the last that you'll see. We're gonna be giving away something pretty much every day, every second day in the new year. But if you can make it, click that Discord link and click that button. I think it's gonna announce someone real soon. Hopefully, ends a minute ago. Oh no, ends at today 9:28 a.m. Looks like, is that a glitch? Do we have a glitch? We might have to run this one again. Let's see what Michael says when he gets back. He's kind of left the office. Ends a minute ago. Oh no. The loot goblin. He's broken on us. All right. I thought the fruit lady was gonna stop you again. Can we get involved in your fund, Maddie asks. Look, anyone can get involved in my fund, so hit me up if you'd like to. I think, I don't know the license terms for Australia, but I think you have to be what's called a sophisticated investor, and I think you need a X amount of assets, or you need something. So I don't know if it's for every single person, but get in touch. We can talk about it if you want to. Says 5:28 for me. Okay. Geeks Gambit, what's going on? I love your avatar. It is a Genesis Shroud robot. Love it. I have switched my Twitter back to the OG Alien. I love the Alien. I spent 9 Ethereum on this bad boy, and I think aliens are going to be pretty good in the Mediky community. I just like the way they look, right? I like the way they look, and I when we are going to build sort of 3D and character integrations across games and different experiences and virtual worlds, then I would assume that those that have the aliens, I think there's only like 15 of them. Those that have the sort of cyborgs, there's like 8 of them. So people, when they go in there and represent themselves as these, I think it would be pretty cool. I personally just love the alien design. All right, so we'll wait for Michael to come in. I think this sort of thing broke, but let's just keep moving. So before we go into Al and talk about this sort of thing, let me just very, very quickly talk about this, right? So my first year in 2017 in crypto was pretty much a write-off in hindsight. Fell for scams, lost money, jumped into hype, did so many things wrong, but wouldn't change a single thing looking back. Important for growth. If this is your first year and it's been tough, keep going. I remember, guys, 2017, when I got in, I had no idea what the hell was going on, right? Cryptocurrencies were going nuts. I had no idea what the hell a cryptocurrency was. I didn't even know what Bitcoin was. Curious me was just jumping around doing all sorts of stuff. And I think a lot of people got into the NFT space this year, or the crypto space this year. And I just can't imagine a lot of the sort of hurdles and sort of wrong decisions that a lot of people would have felt they made. But looking back now, like I remember for a very long time, I was pretty upset that I sold 30,000 BNB tokens for $1, right? I had 30,000. So Binance is like the largest exchange right now, right? And I had 30,000 BNB tokens on the very first sort of month that they had launched. And I was like, this is going to be a massive project. This exchange is going to be huge. 30,000 BNB, I'm going to hodl this for life. And in a lapse of judgment, I sort of sold it very quickly to jump into another project. And what I was going to do was wait till that sort of doubled and flip back. But the day I sold it, BNB token just started to go nuts. Like literally the 24 hours. I had held it for 30 days, and the 24 hours after I sold it, it just started to go exponential, right? And it was very frustrating because back then I think that was about 30,000 US dollars, and it hit like $8, and I was like, oh my god, that would have been $250,000, and it went on to hit $300. And yeah, for a very long time I was pretty bitter about that, and a bunch of different NFT crypto projects that I had felt I sold too early. But in hindsight, all of that led me to the NFT space, and you know, certain parts of the NFT industry led me to other parts, and wrong decisions here led me to right decisions somewhere else. So it all sort of makes sense across the years, and that's why I think it's super important to stick around and keep building, keep participating. But yeah, some things hit hard, right? Like when you sell something too early, or when you were at a pre-sale and you didn't click the buy button and suddenly it becomes viral. The reality is that if you're in crypto for more than a year, you're going to have a shit ton of regrets. It's just normal. Part of this space is passing up on opportunities when you look back and being like, F, like you should have got that right. So, yeah, at the end of the day, Ernesto says it right. It's only a flesh wound. Keeps going. We keep building, and eventually hit something pretty big. A lazy 15.7 mil. Tell me about it. 30,000 BNB. Is that what it would have been? Is it what's BNB right now? It's $500, right? BNB coin giver. You're gonna see me cry on stream. 528 US dollars. Ugh. Yeah, it would have been a beautiful 15 milli. That was, so I think I sold it. If you kind of make this graph larger, I sold it here. Look, I sold it pretty much. So it had this first sort of boom sort of thing when it went from $1 to $1.80, then it started to drop to $1.70, then it sort of dropped to about $1.50 or $1.20 or something. And then the day I sold it went $2.30, $3.20. I think it hit $6 or $25. So that's when I was really gutted, right? Jan 2018, I was like, fuck, that would have been 24 times 30, almost $1 million. That would have been about $800,000. And then we kind of went through this slow period, and that was okay. But yeah, look at this. Boom. All right, enough about BNB and the traumatic experience. Let's just keep that in a bottle far, far, far away in the ocean. Nebula says, I've been in the same boat. 2017 was a tough year to hodl. Totally right. Value experience. Look at you now, Maddie, dominating, says 34 comics. Yeah, like eventually, what I've learned is as long as you stick in the crypto industry and you keep implementing your learnings, you win. Like eventually you will hit something that is at the center of the attention, right? In the spotlight. all it needs, guys, is for what you invest in to go viral at some stage. That's what I've learned. That's all it is, right? Once things go viral and have that social presence and they just go crazy, then everyone sort of talks about it. The value goes up like crazy. It gathers a strong following, and then you can decide whether you want to continue holding or not. But like when Decentraland and the Sandbox and Axie Infinity, when these things were kind of bubbling in the very early days, in my head, I was like, this is eventually going to go viral. Like people are going to share what they're doing. Like these events are going to get big, and people will share the video of what they're doing. And we all know that gaming media things with Twitter go crazy, right? They spread. Social media does a very good job of distributing media content around gaming and sort of fun experiences. But in my head, I was like, well, when I got involved with Mana, I was like, the rest of the crypto space is boring. I mean, who the hell? Things in the like things about infrastructure and DAOs and stuff, that's not going to go viral. And if it does, it'll be to the financial crowd. What will go proper viral would be the gaming industry. That's why I made heavy bets there. But what I learned was that all you need is what you've invested in pre-hype needs to go viral at some stage, right? So now when I invest in things, I'm like, okay, so is this going to have its buzz or in the limelight? And long term, is this going to be a big part of the NFT industry? That's kind of how I sort of look at. The website link in Mediky Twitter is broken, or you forgot to change it. We are updating or transitioning our link. So yeah, it is broken for a little bit. We're going to have to, we're through fixing it right now. I've yet to hop into Decentraland, to be honest. Damn, that sucks. Hey, Maddie, can't people rent land in Decentraland if they want to get into creating? Isn't that a lot cheaper for them? They can, yeah. Yeah, you can definitely rent. You can hit up some districts and get some free lease if you want to. Maybe I can hold a competition to get, maybe I can talk to one of the districts to hold out, 300 pieces of land and hold a massive competition to give people free lease for 3 to 6 months or something. What are the next gaming projects that you are looking at? Says Skel94. I'm just watching. We're just watching right now, right? Just watching the landscape improve, seeing if the gaming industry starts to improve. All right, let's go to Al, guys. So like I said before, Al.eth got hacked. It's been around for a while, probably 3 to 4 years in the NFT space. He's a game dev. He's a developer. So he knows quite well about how hack sort of things work, right? So he came out with this, how I got compromised post-mortem of a dark stormy night. Very sad. But this is what happened, right? So he was simply chatting and playing with some friends on my gaming rig, Windows operating system. A friend sent a meme via a link. We were having a good time. Guard was sadly down. Video downloaded, opened the meme. As soon as I did, Windows Defender found a virus and secured it. I promptly deleted the video and didn't think too much about it. A couple of other friends on call reported the same thing, but since it was caught, we felt safe. The virus detected is called Trojan Win32 Bearfusi ML, and it isn't a pretty one. I don't exactly know how, but it got hold of my MetaMask seed phrase and imported accounts. Was locked with a secure password, which I sadly had on a password manager for other purposes. I suspect they brute forced but I can't be entirely sure. So he downloaded a virus unknowingly in a moment of lapsed judgment, and that thing kind of looks like it scanned his computer, found his MetaMask seed, got that MetaMask seed imported into a different device, and that's why it's really important to not have your MetaMask seed phrases on a laptop or somewhere. And that's why we use ledgers and all sorts of things, right? Thunder roar. 3 hours went by in between the virus detected and the hacker's first move. At the moment, I was completely unaware that I was compromised with my private keys exposed to this person. The first thing that they did was to remove all valuable ERC20 tokens from my account. They are the easiest to transfer, and Etherscan shows what is its value and what isn't. 30 minutes after transferring out my ERC20s, the attackers started to focus on my NFTs and proceeded to accept offers from lowball bids. My CyberCongs babies and incubators were getting sold. Once the first got sold, my phone immediately started to buzz endlessly from the messages of people asking me why I was selling at such discounts. So the sort of Kongs community started to go nuts and be like, yo, what are you doing, Al? Are you just dumping your Kongs? My accounts was compromised. My mind was emptying itself as was my wallet while trying to process what I could do at this instant. As a veteran Solidity dev, the pressure and stress experienced during previous launches and assets rescuing missions definitely helped me keep cool-headed and think relatively straight. My most valuable pieces on this account were 5 Genesis Kongs, including a legendary Kong. Oofed. Genesis Kongs, guys. We all know a Genesis Kong is worth like upwards to 50 ETH. I think they're going for 80 Ethereum, so that's a decent hack. That's about $1 million right there. After that, I had all my Kong babies and VX and other various NFTs. The attacker was inexperienced or simply blinded by the amount of easily sellable NFTs I had. He was selling assets randomly, not targeting the most valuable. I used OpenSea's multi-sender tool and was lucky to successfully transfer out my most precious assets onto a Ledger wallet. Right, so he didn't lose that, right? So my most valuable pieces on this account were 5 Genesis Kongs. So luckily it sounds like he didn't lose that. I managed to save another 16 baby Kongs with the mass sender tool, but after that it was hard as OpenSea wasn't updating fast enough. Okay. Meanwhile, doing all this stuff, I took the time chaotically explained to OpenSea that I was getting hacked. My account got hacked. Can someone lock it? It's Al.eth. OpenSea support responded quickly telling me I could report my account for suspicious activities. This would remove access to OpenSea's API to generate the bid signatures, etc. I think it must have shown slowing down the attacker, but then they decided to transfer out the NFTs to their own address and sell on Rarible. I was losing composure and getting overwhelmed with emotions. I just couldn't cope with the mental load of trying to think about all the things I needed to save. On one hand, I had everything to lose, but on the other, if I kept doing nothing, I would have lost all anyway. Look at this thing. So during all those years in crypto, I've had the privilege to keep some of my most nicest human beings to whom I could trust to unimaginable levels. I thought to myself, what if I leaked my private keys to my friends? It can't really get any worse, can it? So that's exactly what I did. I leaked my private keys to a bunch of people that I have never met in real life, but still felt like I could trust. It's an interesting decision right there. So at the end of the day, we know someone's in that wallet that's going to take everything. So what if he sent it to people that he could trust? So there was more people trying to save his wallet. And yeah, maybe 1 or 2 of them become scammers as well, but there's already a scammer in there, right? So if he sent it to some people he could trust, maybe that person can run in there and get his most precious stuff quicker than he can. The idea behind this was to remove the mental load of having to think about all NFTs so that I could focus on one particular collection. We kind of ended up throwing out the address. Give me an address, I will start sending NFTs there. I will work on VX, use safe transfer from on contract. So people start to help him. With my friends having my back, I could focus on retrieving one type of assets. I decided to move over to CLI and use Brownie as my framework to broadcast transactions. MetaMask was making me go nuts with all the clicking required. I managed to secure an additional 29 VX Kongs and my EN estimates. In the meantime, the attacker managed to steal an additional 15 baby Kongs to their own address and sell them on Rarible. My friends managed to get my legendary VX as well as my 8 trait VX and many more valuable NFTs money and sentiment wise. Some were transferred out from my wallet, some were brought by NFT platforms at discounts. After that, they remain in my account. It was mostly dust compared to what was taken. The attacker stopped using my wallet. Aftermath. In total, 28 baby Kongs and 2 VX were sold with potentially up to 15 that were brought back by my friends. All my DeFi coins and the wallet were transferred out. No rescue plans possible for those. The most valuable assets were secured very early on, and my friends helped me move the most of the remaining valuable NFTs. 5 other accounts were compromised with relatively small amounts of funds taken out, imported private keys I used in the past. I didn't know the extent of the damage caused on my gaming rig, so I decided to bring it offline in the time being while I take the necessary measures, blah, blah, blah. A new dawn. This has been an extremely stressful situation. I believe that I've tied up all the loose ends, should be safe from any other attacks in the future. Gaming rig will be wiped clean and be used solely for crushing noobs. Looking back at all this crazy mayhem, I've managed to salvage most of, I think one of the biggest mistakes Al did here is the MetaMask or the device, the computer that he was using, his gaming rig, where, you know, you're looking at memes, you're clicking links, you're playing games, you're maybe potentially downloading Steam games, etc. Was the same rig that he had with the MetaMask wallet with some very special NFTs, of course. What did you learn? I sincerely wish for this to never happen to anyone else. I can't imagine how boring and sad the attacker's life must be to consider running such schemes. But it is what it is. Cry me a river, build a bridge, and get over it. As I say, should this ever happen to you and have your hot wallets compromised, if you are a dev, it might be worth taking some time to write a script to siphon funds out and potentially maintain a list of valuable NFTs to be withdrawn quickly. If you have a trusted group of friends, sharing your private key may be your best shot at mitigating everything. Realistically, you never prepare for such things, and sharing your PK might be the next best thing to save as many assets as possible. Whew! That is crazy, right? Serge says, what is the link? Yeah, it's right here. I didn't know you could batch send on OpenSea. That's cool. Might have to clean up some wallets. 5 Genesis. Wow. At one point, the floor was even 200 ETH. Yeah, right? It was going nuts. What a story. Hope no one else has to go through that. It is a very stressful situation to be hacked. I just cannot imagine. Sometimes I remember, like, when I'd open my MetaMask, it'd say 0, and I'd freak the fuck out. Like, I'd be like, what is going on here? And it'd be a glitch, and I'd be like, oh shit, did I just get hacked? And I remember that sort of gut-wrenching feeling. I also remember when I sold my land. I think everyone knows the story by now, but I remember I sold my decentralized land for 185 mana instead of 185,000 mana. I typed 185 and I forgot the 3 zeros, and holy shit, that was just yeah, it was a killer. It just like I lost like 30k as soon as I clicked submit, right? In hindsight, like if you look at how much 185,000 mana today is worth about 500,000, right? It still hurts, but I just remember the feeling then. It was just devastating. I was panicking. I was kind of hitting up people in Decentraland, being like, can someone do something about this? It was a mistake. I was reaching out to everyone that I could. Blockchain is just so unforgiving, guys. It's just every week there's a story like this that comes out, right? And if someone like Al can get hacked from this, like, there is no limit to how secure you are. I think you can never be too paranoid with security with NFTs. So yeah, lol here, hold this L. This is why I'm worried about using account with my Mediky in for DCL, etc. Is there a way to authenticate a separate account to use, says Wayne? That is interesting. I think there needs to be a solution where you're right, like important NFTs need to be kept in one wallet, and then utilizing those NFTs should be the utilization of those NFTs should be transferred to another wallet, where if you get access to that wallet, it's not access to those NFTs. That is a really good point, Wayne. I think that needs to be made. We don't have anything like that. I don't even know how to even start deving that up, right? But that is important. That is important. That needs to be done moving forward. You know what else is an issue right now? Like, there is Threefold Comics pumping the likes. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. One issue is that NFTs have become just super expensive to transfer. Like, if I want to transfer, I think I have about 6,000 NFTs in one of my OpenSea accounts, and to transfer all of those is going to cost, what is that going to cost? 6,000 times $50. $300,000, right? Almost $500,000 in just transfer fees in transferring from one account to the other. Even if I were to handpick the most expensive NFTs, it's probably still going to cost like 10 to 20k to transfer out. So we're sort of like, people that have been accumulating NFTs for a while are sort of stuck with the wallet that they have those NFTs in at the moment, especially if there's a lot of valuable ones in there. But yeah, there is a lot of issues currently that need to be solved. And this is the sort of space we're in, right? We're in 2002 iPhone or Apple stage. We're at a stage where the software and the tech is new. There's a lot of issues. Yes, people can exploit it. And that's why we have to be extra careful. All right, guys. Let's see if this thing finished. No, it didn't. It might finish later on. Let's see what happens with this thing. There seems to be a freeze here, but hopefully someone wins this. Michael's not in the office, so we can't set up a new one. And it has been a beautiful, an interesting 45 minutes. Holy shit, 9:50 a.m. It's been 50 minutes. All right. It's been 50 minutes. All right, guys. I can't really check too much stuff because I have to run. Tokatiana, did you like my daughter's art for the Mediky contest? I did see all the submissions. I just don't know which one's your daughter's, Toka. I have to take a look. I'm about to, the team's about to fill me in with all the submissions. That's awesome. Thanks so much for submitting something there. We had, it was pretty fun, right? Making an art contest. I think art contests around a concept is pretty cool. So we'll continue to do those things. Is there anything else I should cover? What are you guys thinking? How are you planning on spending the Christmas and the New Year? I think we're gonna have like a 2 week break, where maybe you guys will be off the internet and off your phones and laptops, but maybe we'll get some rest. Maybe, just maybe, we'll get an 8 hour sleep session. But I hope you guys are gonna have an amazing holiday and a break, and I can't imagine the level of madness next year is gonna bring. Like, if this is the year that NFTs are gonna break out into the scene, I can't imagine the level or the caliber of projects that will suddenly pop out of this space next year. Let's do a snapshot of this year. I think if you look right now, the sort of top projects are Decentraland, the Sandbox, Axie Infinity, CryptoPunks, Bored Apes, maybe CloneX's, but they just launched recently. If you do a snapshot, I can probably say about 10 to 20 projects where you look at them and you're like, all right, well, these are sort of the top projects for at the end of this year. I'm so confident by the end of next year, at least half of these will not be the top projects anymore. There's going to be like 50 more projects that are sort of top tier projects. So if you've missed out this year in investing and you've kind of seen like, oh, well, I didn't really get into all these NFTs this year, trust me, don't worry. I feel like next year there's going to be so many opportunities to make, not just make wealth, but really get integrated and participate into the NFT space, right? You'll find your place to be in the NFT space, or things will make more sense to you. Maybe you'll start a brand or YouTube channel, whatever it may be. Awesome. All right, guys. Nebula says, hopefully Omicron doesn't take off here in Australia, Maddie. Christmas could be a mess. I know. I'm kind of concerned. I feel like in every other country that Omicron virus has gone nuts. And I don't know about Australia. I'm scared. I went to a wedding the other day. There was about 250 people. It's an Indian wedding. And everything's been fine. Everyone's been okay. But I feel like we just don't know, right? Australia's crazy. We just lock things down straight away and things go nuts. But anyway. All right. DCL seems like it's really picking up traction. Yes, it does. All right, guys. I get really addicted to reading your comments and talking with you guys, but I have to run now. It's like 9:53 a.m. The guys have to run off at 10 a.m. So I'm 7 minutes away from getting ready and moving. But yo, it's been a pleasure to have you guys join again. I think just having a casual conversation with you guys was a lot more fun today than covering news. And I think this is my last stream. Yeah, this is my last stream till the next year. So let's just catch up next year, guys. No more streams for DCL Blogger. I will be obviously active on Twitter, and I will ping you guys when I'm ready. Thanks so much for joining. I know a lot of you guys have been supporting me on my streams and coming in and answering some questions from people, like doing some research. Shout out to the Mediky community. Shout out to all of you guys that have been jumping on my streams, Mediky or not. It's been a complete, like, you guys have made it pretty fun for me streaming and making these things, right? One of the reasons why I do this is just to chat to you guys, and you guys saying, hey Maddie, this is fun, thanks for doing this. Like, those small comments keep me going. They mean a lot to me, even though, like, I've been in the space for a very long time. I have a pretty good Twitter and YouTube, and it seems like I don't engage with many people on Twitter. It's very difficult for me to comment on things on Twitter these days, because I write a tweet and suddenly there's like 100 comments, and I just don't know how the hell to. I get very exhausted in talking to anyone, so I just don't really communicate with anyone or chat or respond to people. But I value every comment that comes in. Like, I read them, anything in regards to support. Like, it means a lot to me. So thank you. A big thank you for you guys. And well, I don't know when the next time we're going to chat. It'll probably be next year. So I hope you guys have an amazing year ahead. I hope you guys get all the successes that you have planned next year. I truly feel like this place is the world of opportunity, and the real golden sort of idea. If I was to, let's finish this stream with what I would tell my former self if I was to rewind 4 years, is, you know what? Really, just don't change anything. Like, keep being curious. Don't discount something, discredit something, or say no to something just because it may look crap. Really look into things. When things come your way, just spend that 20 seconds or 1 minute clicking the link to the article and read at least the dot points on what the project is about. Decentraland for me was really just me going to CoinMarketCap and looking at all these logos and being like, hey, what's this logo here? It looks like a game, and I clicked it and I jumped into the Discord, and life has not been the same since. Every curiosity point that I have made, every step of curiosity that I have made in my life has paid back. Like either I've learned something or I've stumbled across something that's sort of new and untapped. So yes, for me, it would be to remain curious and just, trust my gut and my intuition. Like I remember when I first started with business and entrepreneurship 10 years ago, it was like a lot of people were doubting, right? A lot of people like, Maddie, what the hell are you doing? You just left an engineering job where you're getting paid more than a lot of people at the start of your career. Like I was only 2 years into my career and I had quit and I was getting into business. And at that point I was making no money, but I was learning so much. So people were like, Maddie, I don't know what you're doing. Like at this time you would have earned another $50,000. You've earned zero this year. And I'd be like, yeah, I know, but I truly feel like entrepreneurship and self-learning was the way. And like I feel like if you're in this space, you have already proven to yourself that you are smart enough to stumble across or be connected to something that you're brave enough to be part of it. So that's the biggest thing. And I think the real key is just to stick around for a long period of time. Because as you learn things, right, as you get burnt, as you find small successes, suddenly something comes your way, which makes complete sense. And you're like, holy shit, this is a no-brainer because this has elements to a project that I've been part of in the past that I've seen do really well. You can connect to it because maybe it's something that you connected to as a kid. You truly see yourself using the product. Things make sense further down the line. Axie, Decentraland, the Sandbox were 100th the size as they are this year. So imagine if they gave up in the second or third year of development because the user base wasn't big enough. All right. Well, patience, exactly. Rome GGTV, exactly that, right? Patience, perseverance, not being pessimistic, like being quite optimistic of what's coming our way, all that sort of stuff. All right, guys. Again, it's been a pleasure to do this. I'm going to sign off now. Let's catch up next year. Have a great Christmas. Have a great New Year. Enjoy everything that comes your way. And I hope we're all safe, happy, healthy, and in a great position next year, mentally, physically, spiritual, everything. All right. Take care, everyone. We'll speak soon. It's been a pleasure. See ya.